PianoLessons.com, the #1 name in piano lessons online.
But we were at the fifth. So now let's keep on going up our scale from C and go to the next interval. We go from the C to the G sharp. We have, it's got two names just like this had two names. This is either an augmented fifth or a minor sixth. Most often we would refer to this as a minor sixth, but there are times when you can call it an augmented fifth. And that has to do with how chords relate to each other, and I could go on from there, but we're just talking about intervals. So, the next one we get to, the C to the A, that is a major sixth. Now if we go up one more from there, that is a minor seventh. Now that is an important interval because it makes up a dominant seventh chord. That interval right there is key to making up the dominant seventh chord. What is a dominant seventh chord? Well, we know what the root is, right? We were talking about C, there's our root. Our seventh in the key of C would be a G, the 5 chord. That minor 7 interval wants to lead you back to the root. So that's kind of just giving you a little understanding again where these intervals are important, and training your ears. It kind of gives you that dominant seventh that you know, well, that C7 wants to go to an F. And right now you're going, hold on, where are you going with this? Well, I'm just kind of showing you little snippets of what these intervals, why these intervals are important, and why we need to train our ears what to listen for. So there's our minor seventh. Our major seventh is that. Now if I were to play a chord, there we have a pretty jazzy sounding chord, and that's where that major 7 interval comes in. There's a C major 7 chord. A lot of jazz uses that kind of a chord. So there's recognizing that interval, and then we end off with the octave. So I've kind of weaved in and out a little bit, but what I'm really trying to push the point home is, for a little exercise, is I'll go through these again. Here's what I'll do. I'll go through all of these intervals one more time slowly. And then when you want to sit down at your piano and practice, just pick, maybe write down some different intervals. And we'll just start with C for now. I'll show you in a minute how you can apply that to starting on any point, like a G scale or a D scale. But write down and just write down, say, a perfect fourth, minor sixth, minor sixth, and train your ears to listen for that interval. And where that is helpful is not only in building chords, but also in picking out melodies. So if you're wanting to figure out, we'll start with a basic song like Twinkle Twinkle or Row 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 Your Boat. How do I pick out the melody? Well, you can do that if you understand intervals. Like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, the beginning of it. If you sing it in your head, that first spread from the beginning, we know that sounds like a perfect fifth. And so as long as you know where to start, all of a sudden you can start to hear these melodies and, okay, you know that the melody just goes up one step, but you've been training your ear to hear that that second is that one step. So see where I'm going with this? So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm just going to name them slowly and then really listen to the sound of each one. So we have, here we go, minor second, major second. Now here we have a minor third, a major third, now a perfect fourth, an augmented fourth or diminished fifth. Now we have a perfect fifth. Next is an augmented fifth or a minor sixth. Next we have a major sixth, a minor seventh, a major seventh, and finally an octave. Now to end off this little lesson, I want to say we've been working with C. It's a really easy scale. It's all white notes and you can easily see as we go through. But what if we picked a scale like, let's pick A, for example. We'll go down 2 notes, we'll pick A. The A major scale is that. Well, if you go up chromatically, that term just means going up in steps right up the keys like that. It's called a semitone. That's what chromatic means. So, but here, just look at the keys here. If we go A and we want to play to the next note in the scale, well, that is a major second. Just like we had in the C scale, there's our major second in A. So if we were to go from A to the A sharp, there's a minor second. So let me just play, well, that sound. Not only do we know, because in the scale we have a major third, but we can hear that it sounds like a major third. Here's what a minor third would sound like, starting on A. Hear the difference? So there we've gone to a different key. Starting there, we could start on E flat if you wanted. It would be the same thing. There's a perfect fifth starting on E flat. It's the fifth note in the scale. Perfect fifth. So you could start at any key, but the key, or the important part, is understanding what those intervals sound like. Then you can create those melodies or translate what you hear to the piano. It takes practice. It doesn't just come quickly, but as you work at it and you train your ear, you'll be really surprised at what you hear when you're listening to. You can hear different things happening in the music, and you can understand, hey, I know where this is going to go. There's ways that you can even predict where the melody might go, because you start understanding the relationships of these intervals and these chords to each other. But the first step is understanding intervals.